he?
Yeah,
It's in the book.
I'm going to try to find it here.
I tell you,
339. Yeah, but he described my uncle as that. My uncle was more pissed that he described him like that than anything else. Like my uncle's going to prison because of this guy, and he's more pissed that he described him the way he did.
I know. Now stop right there for a second. Right? What year was this?
Well, he was indicted. I want to say this had to be in the 80s, early 80s.
So you know what's funny?
My timeline again. I'm not a
You're not
I'm not a historian.
Not
yet. I hope to be someday at this ripe old age. We'll get there. But
this show never claims to be.
No.
But here's the analogy I want to bring.
Go ahead.
Like your uncle read that and got pissed off. It's like reading a bad comment today on your podcast. So listen to this.
See if I can find it. Son of a gun.
I was told.
Go ahead.
And I'm abiding by it. I don't read any of the comments. None. I have a team for that. They
read the comments through and see what the people are saying.
Since I started this, never read the comments. I don't answer them. I don't read them. Nothing personal. But my team was very professional at this. Said, Frank, you are not allowed to read the comments. Good or bad. We'll take care of that. And
I like that thought process.
Yeah. So I get it, right? And what they told me too is that, not that, I said, well, look, I don't get mad because, it's somebody who probably has a fake account. You can't confront them. They're not telling it to your face. And if you do try to confront them, they're not going to do it. They say, no, even the bad comments are good because it creates engagement. The more people engaging in the conversation, the better it. So actually, they're helping us. So I said, I never
would think
looked at it.
Any comment's a good comment, realistically, isn't it? I mean, you have to have good, bad, and ugly, as they say.
Now, I know your uncle didn't have that mentality, like saying, well, I'm in the book. Did it help me? No, it didn't help him either way, but...
I can't find it now. Son of a gun.
Anytime you have lovers, you have haters. There's no... If you dwelled on either the lovers or the haters, you just, there's no point.
Guess who's calling me right now?
Same guy who called the last
The guy who can't keep his food in his mouth when he's chewing.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
I don't want to answer because we're in the middle of this.
So I do have a note here, by the way, about some of the comments on the last episode.
Now, why are you going to bless it? But why? No, you're
going to love this one. This one's really great.
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about the comments.
No, it has to do with Uncle Sonny. You're going to love it. It says...
Back to Uncle Sonny.
The host is the Italian version of Jeff Goldblum.
Well, guys, you compare. I'm putting my glasses on for that because
can we get a medic?
But he
Frank's choking to death.
Now that everybody says that, so I'll give you what happened one night. So I guess I'm the Italian version of Jeff Goldblum. I guess I like that. I'll accept that. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny that comes up. We're laughing, but
I can't.
Oh goodness gracious!
I want to do a side by side right
version,
now.
The Italian version. Put the glasses back on. So this is hysterical. That's hysterical.
So but
this is the second time this has happened. Okay, so we're out to dinner. We went to a sushi place. I think my two sister-in-laws were there and my wife, and we went to a local sushi joint, and we're sitting there. We ordered, and the Oriental girls are off to the side. There's about 2 or 3 of them, and they're looking at a phone, and they're pointing and giggling and laughing. And finally, I'm trying to figure out if they're laughing at me, if I got something hanging off my nose, what's going on. They come over with the picture of this guy on their phone, and they're going, "You look like him. You look like him." I'm like, "Oh, my God." And, of course, my family all agrees with them. Yeah, he does look like them. So I guess I am the Italian version of Jeff Goldblum. I guess that's not so bad.
What is it? The Fly, Jurassic Park. We could.
He's in a lot of movies. This guy.
A lot of movies.
Somebody said that he's in that new movie Wicked that's out. and that's been out for a while. I guess he plays the Wizard of Oz, so here I am. Hey, if you need a double, if you're watching out there, Jeff, I can double up for you. Not a problem. We even have the same colored beard. It's amazing. So someone said that on the comment that I'm the Italian version of Jeff Goldblum. God bless him.
Literally, that's it. The host is the Italian version of Jeff Goldblum.
That's what it says.
Wow, that's a classic. That might stick.
That may stick here.
That might stick.
So anyway, back to this book, because I can't find can't find anything.
Look, he's trying to change the subject.
Trying to change the subject. Anyway, like I was saying, this is the actual book my uncle had at the time when all this came out and he was heading to court. And I did find a page where it does say that he was indicted in New York in 1987. I'm sure that was all after the court cases. That was kind of later when I see a lot of these other guys indicted in 85, indicted in 83, and so on and so forth. There's Alley Boy there. So there's a lot of people in this book. And I guess this is, has an FBI agent infiltrate the mob, Poor Lefty takes all the blame for that, obviously.
But when they mention him in the book, how did he react to it? He was pissed off about that comment.
He was pissed off about the comment. Yeah, but, he also wrote in some notes that he felt Donnie had, or Mr. Pistone, I should say, he felt that the FBI agent Joe had laid a lot of crap into there. Like there was a lot of stuff that my uncle said weren't true, something about that went down in Florida about Joe Puma. That's in here on page, I think it's 346. They were down in Florida, but my uncle said a lot of that. Joe didn't remember a lot of stuff because he never wrote anything down, couldn't write anything down. And my uncle said he forgot more than he should. So he wasn't happy about that there was a lot of untruth in here, kind of like you're experiencing some of that as well, what's going on in the internet and so on. So I guess that, when you're an FBI agent, you can't write stuff down if you infiltrated the mob. So he wasn't wired. And so not everything my uncle felt was 100% accurate about how he spoke in the book. So
that's entertainment.
Yeah, well, I guess everything gets Hollywood. Well, if you look at a picture of Mr. Pistone, he doesn't look like Johnny, who played him in the movie, and Lefty doesn't look like the other guy.
Well, Johnny Depp played, what's that movie, Blow?
Yeah,
he played
what a great movie.
Jung. What was the name of the guy?
That he portrayed? Yeah, I can't think of the name.
Because I was Cellmates with Carlos Lehder.
Okay. Let's hear about that a little bit.
Yes, I was Cellmates with him, and we were in Witsec unit in Farrington, New Jersey.
Okay.
Probably for about a year, more than a year. It was funny because now here I am. When I was on the street, I read books that had this guy in it. Now I'm Sully's with him.
Wow.
And he cooperated, but he still got 40 years. I think they just let him out.
Really?
I was locked up in Florence out here in the county holdover for the feds. And I seen a ticket tape come over CNN. Carlos Lehder, they released him to Germany because he was half German.
That's interesting.
But, he was half German and half Colombian. He favored the German side.
Huh.
He didn't favor the Colombian side. He was fluent in both languages.
Wow. I didn't know
multiple,
that. I had
multiple
no
languages.
idea.
Yeah, fluent in multiple. Fast forward, I'm in Latuna, Texas on this beef, on this bid. And the cops over there were telling me how Johnny Depp used to come to the prison because Jung, I can't remember his first name.
George
Jung.
George Jung. Yeah.
That's it.
George Jung was in Latuna, where I was, and they were getting ready to film the movie Blow, and BOP would allow Johnny Depp to come into the yard and walk with George Jung.
The real George. Yeah.
To get his, the way he walked, the way he talked, came to see him. And
yeah, that's some deep research on Depp's part, but he's a good actor, so I can get why he would go do all that.
In that prison, right, in El Paso, so in El Paso, Texas, it's on the border of Anthony, New Mexico.
Okay.
That's the mailing address. When I pulled up to this joint, 1,500 inmates, old prison. They have the Valachi suite there.
Is that right?
You ever heard that?
No.
Okay. So you know what Joe Valachi is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Back in the day when he flipped, they had a suite built for him in El Paso, Texas, in La Tuna, called the Valachi Suite.
Interesting.
I guess the president of the United States, whoever was in, you got to look up history, they built this thing for him, and that's where he did his time. So throughout the years, the place is notorious for that, the Valachi Suite.
Wow.
And when I had heard, when the guys like that cooperated before in the past, they would put them in the Valachi Suite. I think Gaspipe was there once too.
Okay.
Don't know what it is. I've never been in it. Don't know what it's like, but from what I understand, it's not a lot more luxurious than what you're in. I'd rather be in population because, you're kind of more confined.
Yeah, I would imagine being in population, you're going to get to be with people and understand who's who.
And the population is predominantly Mexican, which not the Mexicans you think of. There's a difference. You got the Mexican American, which were actually born here. Then you got the Mexicans from Mexico, which they refer to as paisa.
What does that mean?
So I guess in Spanish it's considered paisan.
Okay.
Very
Makes
similar.
sense. Makes perfect sense.
And I got to tell you, when Vlad was talking to me about, did you have any problem with the Mexicans? Because they're the dominant, they call them a car. What car are you with? Meaning how many numbers you got, what race do you run with? Because when you get into prison, it's all about race, right? Stupid, but that's the way it is. The paisa, never had a problem with it.
Why do you think that is? Why do you?
They were good to me.
What'd they call you?
The Podfather. So they would tease me.
Okay.
Right? Hey, Italiano. I don't speak Italian. I was born here.
Yeah.
Mafios. I'm not in the mob no more.
Yeah.
But they love me. They took care of me.
That's great.
They would cook. They had everything locked down in the prison. So as far as the kitchen goes, they had access to all the food. They had access to whatever. And I had carte blanche with them.
That's good that you were able to connect with them like that.
Oh,
that's amazing. That makes excuse the expression, the stay a little bit better, a little bit.
And again, I'm not racist, and I got nothing against any groups out there. They just got a different belief system. That racist white group, and maybe it was because they felt like I should have hooked up with them, if something broke out. But, 55 years old, I'm walking in there, 55 at the time, 54. I got a year left. When I come there to join a gang,